luck. You're up next. John Blankinship, congratulations on the birth of your child, too. Let us reiterate that. He played for Ron Hecklinski at Anderson High School, so AC has more stories than you, trust me. He was a manager at Ball State from 2000 2001. Has had some great experience as an assistant coach at Muncie Southside, at Madison Grant, at Anderson High School, and New Albany High School. He's been at MILAN since 2009. Please welcome to the podium John Blankinship from MILAN High School. Nice to meet you.
Well, first of all,
thanks. Go ahead.
I can see who's in charge of putting this together because, Ace, I think you misspelled my name.
No, it's Josh.
It's Josh. You misspelled my name. You're in charge of this whole event. You're in charge of this whole event.
You know what? Let's not throw him under the bus. I'll take credit for that. But boy, it'd be a great story if it was you.
It wasn't me. It was you.
No, that's fine. I appreciate having the opportunity to be here. Thanks, Ace, for giving me the call. To be honest with you, I'm real humbled being up here. There are a lot of great coaches sitting up here behind me on both sides, and even a couple sitting out in the crowd that haven't quite made their way up here because they're eating. Coach Dave Disbro from East Central and Coach Aaron Garrett. I mean, this is a Batesville/Oldenburg event, and he was late, so I don't understand that whole concept. But Coach is absolutely right. I could probably stand up here for hours telling stories of my high school days playing for Ron Hecklinski, but got a lot of respect for him and learned a lot about the game of basketball from Coach Hecklinski and even the guys that I was an assistant for. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about our team and MILAN basketball. Of course, the first thing everybody mentions is 54 state champs. I probably talk to at least 4 people a week during the season. Practices get interrupted. People come in, take a picture of the banners, take a picture of the trophy, want to come in and talk, and it is an absolute honor and an absolute pleasure to be the boys basketball coach at MILAN High School. I take a lot of pride in that. Most people might not know. I never knew this until I got the job, but they were in the state finals the year before that in 1953. So it wasn't just kind of a one-hit wonder thing. They were obviously a very, very talented team, had a lot of guys go on to play college basketball. So, but it is an honor to be the head coach at MILAN High School, and I couldn't be more happy to be there. Our perspective group coming up, I'm the exact opposite as Ace. He stood up here and said, we've got 10 returning lettermen. I think we have 2 returning lettermen, and of those 2 returning lettermen, one of those guys had significant minutes. We did have a sophomore last year that played some until he got hurt. So we had a great group of guys last year, graduated 4 starters, and lost a ton from a 16-7 team that got beat in the championship game of the sectional. But very happy with the guys that we've got coming back. We'll have 4 or 5 seniors. Sam Layden, 5'10 senior. Travis Butt, 6-foot senior. Alan Laws, 5'10 senior. And Dean Elrod is a 6'3 senior. And then Sam Simpkins is a 6'5 senior. We'll have 3 juniors. Kyle Meyer, who is probably the best player that we have coming back. He is 6'5", and hopefully for all the guys that are on our schedule, hopefully he'll be a hard guard for some of the teams that we play against. Josh Bixler is a 6'1 junior. Peyton Healy is a 5'9", 5'10 junior. We'll have 2 sophomores that play almost exclusive varsity, Jordan Burton and Blaine Beck. Blaine is the quarterback of our varsity football team, and they play this Friday night. So if you don't have anything going on, I'm sure Batesville's still playing. I don't really know. If so, you don't have anything to do, get out to MILAN and support our football team. Rob Page does a great job with our group. And then we do have some freshmen that are probably, by the end of the year, going to make some significant contributions to our team. And to brag on them a little bit, they won the SEI tournament this past winter, which is a huge accomplishment for our group. I think it was the second group to do so since they've had that tournament. Coach Combs had a group of guys go through several years ago that that made some great impacts on our program. But looking forward to those incoming freshmen making some great contributions the next 4 years. In particular, we have a set of twins, Jed and Zach Minnick, who are also varsity football players, and then a kid named Jacob Burton. We're looking at those 3 guys to come in and do some great things the next few years. In terms of schedule, Ace is absolutely right with IHSA. I think they did a great thing for us coaches of giving us those 2 more games. And any more in today's society with money and how much that's talked about, I mean, I think it's a good thing for our schools to have that extra home game and bring in a little extra money. But for some reason, I'm not sure why we did this. We probably should have done it last year when, I mean, potentially we were really, really good. So we decided to schedule a holiday tournament with Greensburg in it. I'm not really sure what we're thinking in regards to scheduling a team that's back-to-back state title winners with a guy back who obviously, and the Wellich kid who's really, really good. So I did everything I could to avoid playing Greensburg in the first round of that tournament. So I think you're going to end up playing Eastern Green possibly, and then we'll play North Harrison. Hopefully we'll see in the championship game. We'll put the ball in the corner, put 4 guys around, and just hold it. So aside from that, I'm not sure we're going to have a real good chance to beat you guys if we have to play you. And I hope Wellich doesn't get too battered and bruised. Not that we have anybody that would be able to compete with him, but we will stick the ball in the corner at half court and surround 4 other guys. That might be the only chance we got. And against Oldenburg, too. We'll probably have to do the same thing. Coach has got a great group coming back, obviously. And his son, he didn't really talk a whole lot about his son, but Matt is a really good player and a better kid at that, and I think that's more important than anything. But to go off our schedule a little bit, our schedule really hasn't changed too much other than we changed holiday tournaments. We used to play in the Springs Valley tournament. Rising Sun, who is in our conference, they're playing in that now, so we decided to get out. We already play them twice, so didn't want to have to play them 3 times. We picked up Morristown, which for us in the future is going to be really good. They got a really good incoming class of freshmen as well. And then we picked up Indianapolis International. So I think for us it balances everything out. And we also picked up Franklin County as well. We dropped Indianapolis Attucks, who beat us by 30 last year and had 97 with 10 seconds to go, and their coach was on the sideline yelling shoot to 3 so they could get 100. Still pressing with 10 seconds to go. I called timeout, but that's a whole nother story. Sometimes there's a right and a wrong way to do things, I guess. But aside from that, I'm going to cut my speech short. My assistant coaches and former assistant coaches know that I could probably stand up here and talk forever. Tyler Teasing is my former JV coach who is now working for Dave Disbrow, who is his high school coach at East Central. And then my JV coach is here, Drew Young, who was my freshman coach a couple years ago, went to Franklin County, and then we were fortunate enough to get him back. And I got a lot of respect for those guys, and they do a great job. And then a kid who graduated for us last year named Logan Alloway is actually going to be on our staff this year, which is an honor for me to have a former player want to come back and be on our staff. And then we have a Ripley County Hall of Fame member in Randy Combs, who coaches our 8th grade. Jeff Stutler coaches our 7th grade. And, you know, like everybody else up here, I mean, we got a lot of coaches that go down through our feeder systems and do a great job. And it wouldn't be right to not mention those guys as well. And trying to get things, I guess, going in the right direction there at MILAN, and I think we are. And on a side note, I'm hoping that somehow between MILAN, Jacksonville, and South Ripley, we find a way to maybe not have Batesville win the county tournament for, what is it, Coach Garrett, like 8 years in a row if you guys win it this year? Is that what it is? Huh? I think it's going to be 8. Last year it was 7 we got beat in the championship game. Then it was 6 the year before that when we got beat, and 5 the year before that when I think you broke the record. And I'm not bitter about losing to Coach Garrett, because I think Coach Garrett's a great guy and he does a great job. But I am bitter about the fact that there was a Batesville graduate officiating the championship game 2 years ago at Batesville High School. So I am a little bitter about that. Hey, I know. I mean, hell, you had 6 guys on the floor and got away with it. I guess do whatever it takes to win. And it just always seemed that the Batesville graduate was the guy underneath the basket blowing the whistle every time we blew on Walsman a few years ago. Isn't it amazing how that works? I don't know. But I'm just messing with Coach Garrett. I got a lot of respect for Coach, and obviously he does a great job, just like everybody else up here. But I'm going to head back to Shelbyville, where my wife is in the hospital. We did have our second child yesterday, a healthy baby boy. It's a blessing. And everybody out there that's a father, you guys know what that's like. And I'm pretty much new at it. I have a soon-to-be 3-year-old and then a newborn. And it's nice to be able to share some moments with him before and after games. And my 3-year-old is just now getting to the point where he talks about the gym all the time. And he's experienced a few 6 a.m. open gym / I don't know, practices. Coach came through here and said they had practice. I didn't think we could start practice until November the 10th. But we just call it open gym. Now what goes on in our open gym, that's a different story. But that's what we call it. That's what's on our schedule. But thank you. It's an honor to have been here. It's an honor to represent Milan High School and represent our community. And thanks, Scott, for organizing this. Hopefully it continues. We'll get a few more people in the seats and you know, just continue a great thing. Southeastern Indiana basketball is special. Holds a great place in my heart, and hopefully it does everybody else as well. Thanks for being here, and thanks, Coach Lovell, for emceeing the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Thank you, Josh. Congratulations again.